What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Moeka Gaming, and I'm coming at you guys with another build video. And if anybody has any questions, any concerns about the build, you can always reach out to me on mixer.com/Moeka, and I'm usually live every day, besides the weekend. But anyways, let's get straight to the video. So in this build, I am running two classic M1As. One's the Baker Dozen. The other one is just like a classic M1A. So on the first one, I'm running a Lucky Shot because this is like the best thing you can run. It says magazine capacity is increased by 30%. Missed shots from cover have 100% like to go back to the magazine. So if I miss the shot, it's automatically gonna go back to the magazine. But this isn't like a good one, but it's like an okay one. It has 6% damage to armor, 14% critical hit damage, 11% rifle damage, and it's 546 K damage, which is like extremely high. And then my second classic M1A has 12% rifle damage, 15% critical hit damage, 10.5% magazine size, and I rode Boomerang onto this. And what Boomerang does is his critical hits have a 50% chance to return the bullet to the magazine. If a bullet is returned to the magazine, the next shot has a 40% chance for increased damage, which is like extremely high. Those shots hit really hard, especially if you can luckily crit a player if you're doing PvP with this build. But I wouldn't recommend PvP for this build. This build is more of a PvE build. The mask, obviously, Coyote's mask is the best for this type of build. On my Coyote's mask, I have 15% weapon damage. I have 5.7 critical hit chance, 11.6 critical hit damage, and in the mod slot, I have a 10.1% critical hit damage. And the way this mask works, actually, let me go to it. If I'm 0 to 15 meters, I get an additional 15% critical hit damage. If I shoot a shot within 15 to 25 meters, it's additional 10% critical hit chance and damage. But if I'm 25 meters plus away, that's an additional 25% critical hit chance, which is really good on a rifle build. And then the chest piece, obviously, it's a glass cannon chest piece. And the reason I'm running a glass cannon chest piece is because this is a rifle build. I don't need to get close to my enemy, and I also don't need to like risk getting myself killed, so I can actually like play low, stay back to the side, and like easily one tap a lot of stuff. Because in heroics, all you got to do is shoot enemies 2 to 3 times to kill them anyways. But it has 15% weapon damage, 6% critical hit chance, 11% critical hit damage, and I got a 10.9% critical hit damage mod in there. And Perfect Glass Cannon, I deal an additional 30% damage, but all the damage I take is like 60%. So you hit me 60% harder, so I die super quickly. And this is a Providence chest piece, so I get 10% headshot damage, I get 10% critical hit chance, and a 15% critical hit damage, which is amazing. On the holster, I'm running another Providence defense piece, which is where I get the 10% critical hit chance from. It has 14% weapon damage, 6% critical hit chance, and I would prefer this to be critical hit damage, but it's 9.3 headshot damage, which isn't bad for this build, but I make it work. And then on the knee pads, this is a pretty good pair of knee pads, actually. It's the Fox Prayer knee pads. It has 10% rifle damage, which I am running a rifle build, by the way. 10% rifle damage. It has 12.8% weapon damage, 8% damage to targets out of cover, and 12% critical hit damage, which is huge, actually. That's amazing. And then, obviously, I'm running Contractor's gloves. So, I'm running... it's the Contractor gloves, Petrov defense, LMG damage. When I don't run a second classic M1A, I usually run the Bullet King because the Bullet King has amazing sustained damage, by the way. It has 15% weapon damage, 8% damage to armor, and 10.5% weapon handling, which I wish this was critical hit damage again because I'm missing out. And then the backpack, this is actually best in slot. Instead of vigilance here, you can put composure, but it's also a Providence defense backpack, and that's where I get the 15% critical hit damage from. It has 14.5% weapon damage, 4.9% critical hit chance, 12% critical hit damage, and another 10.3% critical hit damage in the mod slot. And it's vigilant. I'm thinking about farming a different one and putting perfect vigilance there, Because with Perfect Vigilance, I think is 30% at 3% cooldown. But the way Vigilant works is you do an additional 25% weapon damage if you don't take damage for 4 seconds. And 4 seconds is like super fast. But it doesn't matter if Vigilance up or not with this build because this build hits hard anyways. And let me show you the stats real quickly so you can see what it looks like. This is an M1A, by the way. It has 42.6% critical hit damage or critical hit chance. And it has 137.9% critical hit damage. 94.3% headshot damage. 14% damage to armor. That is nice. So, anyways, I'm going to conclude the build there. I hope everybody have a nice weekend or have a nice day. This is your boy Moeka Gaming, and I am signing off again. Y'all have a good one, guys.